Hi everybody, good morning and welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. And I wanted to give you more updates on how I'm feeling with the Neil Barnard vegetarian program. And it's really coming along. I feel even better than I did a couple of days ago. Yesterday I was pretty tired and ended up having to take an afternoon nap. Um, that's very unusual for me. So it might be all the walking and all the the heavy work that I've been trying to get done around here. I'm still working on the closet. I think today I'll be finishing the switching around, and I found a few more things that I'm going to be donating. So it's going slowly, but I'll be uploading something else for you regarding that situation in a while, maybe in the next coming few days or so. And on my deja vu experiences, I think I've been asked to do some research on deja vu, and because even I'm concerned about it for myself as well. Sometimes deja vu is associated with seizures and dementia and things like that. And I just wanted to let people out there know that I am concerned about that. But I haven't been really forgetful about anything. As a matter of fact, it's been almost completely the opposite. I think what's been going on with me is, and I want to make sure that this is the case, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I've been trying to change things that I don't like about myself, and I've been trying to, just focus on the happy and the good, and throw out all the bad and the negative. That's very hard. I've had a lot of negative energy going on in my life in the past 3, 4 years since my mother passed away, and it's been very intense. So I'm trying to just trying to start fresh, start all over. I've been trying to, just move forward with a clean slate. And sometimes, that's hard to do. So, I've been really, really concerned about just getting on with my life in the most positive way that I can. For me, that was starting with my physical health. And about the Fatima dream, that to me, it did represent a deja vu. And in the dream, I remember thinking to myself that I had seen that house before. And if you haven't checked out the Fatima dream, maybe you should, because then you would be able to understand what I'm talking about. And I was about, oh my goodness, I was in my mid 30s at the time. And I don't think dementia had anything to do with it. Although stress, I have to admit, stress does come up with a lot of deja vu incidences. So one of the key things to do is to avoid stress when you're getting some deja vu. So definitely at the time that I had that dream, I was under a great deal, an enormous amount of stress. And it was just before my mother and I embarked on our, court battle with my father's business partner. And, that was a lot of stress. And, but what I'm trying to say is that because it represented something that I saw in the next few days, almost exactly, I would say that this was not related to dementia or even to stress in that sense. I think it was related to some sort of very urgent and psychic communication that my father was trying to pass on to my mother and I, and even to my mother in her dreams. So I pin all the blame on my father and his very nonverbal ways of communicating with me, because it was almost to the point of being nonverbal. He was more, his actions always spoke louder than his words, although he had a very quick and bad temper. Um, Not precisely with me, but sometimes with me, and sometimes I didn't understand his temper. And, it got to the point where people would be going to him and bad mouthing me to him. This was after I began working in his office. And his business partner was one of, I heard that he was one of those people. And then my father would be all upset with me, and I wouldn't know why. And I hate that. I hate that. So we had made a pact not to ever do that to each other. And I was close to my dad. I was very close to my dad, but I didn't, and I really regret this, I didn't show him the affection I think he deserved. And there was always that barrier between us, father daughter, because of the office relationship. It became professional and almost non-affectionate, not in a bad way, I hope, but I think I kept my father at a distance because of some of the problems that we have been having with other relationships interfering. And so I guess I just was not going to, I was not going to allow him into my personal space as easily as I had in the past. I wanted to show him that it was hard for me to forgive some of the transgressions that he had made regarding our interactions. And I wouldn't say that we had a bad relationship at all. I would say maybe, my mom and I really fought, and we didn't see eye to eye on anything. But she was always a mom to me. She was always taking care of my health, cooking for me when I didn't want her to, and mending my clothes, sometimes in ways that I didn't want her to. So she was a mom to me, nevertheless, despite all of our differences. And I still feel guilty about some of the fights that we had, especially close to her, the period where she found out that she was going to be left with only a few weeks to live. I really regret that. It's just not worth it, guys. When you fight with your parents, I know it's hard to say this, it's hard to do this, not to fight with your parents, but better to keep a distance than to openly fight. And I know in many situations that's not possible, but boy, do I regret all that now. Anyway, the deja vu, I believe that the deja vu that I've been having is, mainly because of psychic communication. And when I say that, I mean that my father had just passed away, and he had no other way of communicating with us. And, because our situation was so dire, we needed that, communication from him regarding the situation going on with his business partner. I chalk it all up to that, and not to dementia or maybe a little stress, but nothing like that, not seizures. I'm not epileptic at all. So, I just wanted to let you know that I've really been researching it, because listening to all the old music that I used to listen to, I put them all on my playlist, and that really brought back a lot of feelings. So that's some of it. And then, going back to the vegetarian program really takes me back 20 years, guys. All the old feelings that I've had, my stomach being completely cleaned out, and even my skin. I was touching my arms and legs yesterday, and all these little bits of granules, and it felt like sand. Something is definitely being pushed out of my body. Even on the top of my forehead, I feel it. When I run my hands across my nose and my forehead, I feel all these little bits of sand. Mind you, the lemonade cleanse did that as well, but it's been days since I finished it, and I'm still getting all that, what it could be, I don't know. Maybe proteins, maybe something. Maybe it was remnants of the antibiotics that I took in May. I'm not sure, but something is definitely still coming out of my skin pores. I don't have any clogged pores or any blackheads, but I do have pores, and right now they're looking pretty empty, so I have to try to, take a little bit better care of my skin. And, last night I iced my neck, and I'm very cautious about the way I'm going to be handling all of my hanging skin. I'm trying to make that skin on the neck as firm as I can. I do have neck firming cream, but it's a couple of $100 a shot. I don't want to go through that again. I have a little left, and I'm going to use that, but I mean, how long is that going to last, that cream? I just thought it was important to mention to everybody out there that if you are experiencing deja vu, it's not always psychic. It could be other things like stress. And sometimes, you go through things in the heat of the moment and you're distracted. And then later on, you have a deja vu experience or memory. And it's because that you already went through something, and you're not remembering it clearly. So even in the earthquake dream, I had experiences over by the beach house with earthquakes. And it could have been related to my earthquake experiences with the beach house, But, that country experiences tremors every afternoon, just about every afternoon. And so it could have been related, but not precisely to the point where I saw my friend being trapped in an earthquake. That was really precise. That was psychic. So, and I wasn't undergoing any stress at all at that time. Nothing. Not other than the typical traveling stress, like unpacking and, paying bills over there. And my father was alive, so I wouldn't have been going through any of that. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely psychic. I think that both of my dreams were psychic. And I don't have them anymore. I think I'm pretty sure it's because I'm not there anymore. So I think these experiences that I had in my dreams and then later on came true is because of the time and place that they were occurring. When I had my beach house, I mentioned this before, I had a heightened, almost, I wouldn't maybe call it a sixth sense, but almost to the point where it became a sixth sense. And it was just very random and very rare. Not every day, guys. These dreams would permeate, my sleep just at random times. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. And it was because I was at the beach house or I was going to a place where it would be a very spiritual present and past, where it would have had a very spiritual present and past. And both of those places, Fatima, Portugal, and my beach house, did have a very spiritual connection to me. And, Fatima, I'd never been there, but it's been known to be very spiritual and affect hundreds of people at a time, at the same time and place. Very, very strange, guys. And so you have to wonder, is it real? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was real. You know, all the apparitions that Lucia and her little cousins saw, they they were there. They were there. People saw them. People saw it in the sky. If you research the Fatima story of Lucia, it's I'm sure that all those people wouldn't have lied. Maybe some of them were not well. I'm not sure about that. I have no information on that. But all those people seeing the same types of things going on in the sky, it can't be, guys. It had to have been, I don't know what you want to call it, UFO, extraterrestrial. Um, they say sometimes that apparitions of the Virgin Mary, which I've never seen or heard, I've never had an experience like that myself. They say that they are extraterrestrial, of course. So, I don't know. These are all things that you kind of want to wonder about. I'm not into ghost hunting because it scares me, but I have, usually when somebody passes away, like my mom, my uncle, other people in my family, the night that my mother passed away, I was in a car driving to Walmart because I thought it might distract me. Oh God, I was so miserable. I was in such grief. I remember suddenly, it was January, January 7th, 2019. I was in the car late at night driving to Walmart, and all of a sudden the car filled with the aroma of carnations. It's unexplainable, guys, unexplainable. And it wasn't the first time that happened. It happened here at home when one of my relatives passed away. I remember coming home after the funeral with my mother, and the smell of carnations just filled the entire suite, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And that was right before I met my ex-husband. It was an incredible experience, smelling that smell in the dead of winter. You know what I mean? If it was summer, it might be a different story, with open windows and stuff like that. But the dead of winter, and your car, your home suddenly fills up with this beautiful aroma of carnations. No, guys, that's very spiritual. That's somebody or something making a connection with you from the other side. I believe in that, although I've never seen a ghost, and I hope to God I never do. I don't want to see ghosts because I think that would be very scary for me. I do think that there's something on the other side, something, maybe a portal that connects the present with the past. I don't know. Other people have done videos on this, creatures and beings that are animal-like, that are there one minute and gone the next. I think that if they do exist, there's a good possibility it really is a true phenomenon. And I think that there are creatures that have been going between the present and the past for thousands of years, and that they're still here. I really do think that people maybe as well, human souls as well. So I'm not going to go as far as saying that I believe that ghosts exist. That's a very religious phenomenon, and I don't like getting into that. Scientology and the Jewish faith, I love those religions and spiritualities, but they put so much emphasis on life after death, it almost to the point that it creeps me out. I don't like thinking about that because I don't understand it very well, so I put that at bay. Anyway, I thought I would. It's weird to connect this with my garden, but I'm going to do it anyway because I just noticed some cute little veggies growing in my kitchen garden. So I thought I would take this video out to show you what's been going on in my little garden. And not all of it is great, but here we go. Hold on. So my sage is kind of gone, I guess. I'm very sad about that. It's not completely dead, but it's not doing well. What can I say? This is the furthest plant from the window, and maybe I just have to move it, but that will be quite a job since it won't fit anywhere else. I don't know what to do. And my thyme, one of them is pretty much half dead, if you can see it back there. And this one is very hopeful. Look at all those little green peppers. Aren't they cute? Oh, I'm so pleased to see that. At least that one's doing okay. And my lemongrass and onion chives are still growing. And my eggplant, well, it's kind of not as happy as it used to be, but it's okay. It's doing better than it was before I had to transplant it. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? Still no buds. This one is flowering, but still no peppers. So I'm being patient with that. My basil is not doing great. I don't know what it is. Maybe when the weather turned colder and I had the window open, I'm not sure. It could have done something, but I don't know. It seems almost as though it's reacting badly to something, and I don't know what it is. Look at that one. The one that's closest to the window. Maybe I just have to turn it around. I'm not sure what to do with it. And this one here, yes, the tomato. One is green and one is red. Isn't that pretty? And the first one that I have is still in the fridge, guys. I don't know what to do with it because I don't want to cut it. Maybe I should just take it out of the fridge, right? Anyway, that's my update. The rosemary is always blooming. I don't know what it is. And the catgrass, I replanted some and they're coming up. So that's my update, and I hope that lasts. I hope it lasts because I've been so anxious to see what peppers are going to be coming up. So anyway, guys, I hope that you have a great Friday. And I have another video coming at you maybe today or tomorrow, and I'm still researching my recipe for the pasta dough. And, today I just want to tackle the closets and get rid of some more things. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening and watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.